Roblox age verification just changed and it's fucked. From Roblox treating you different based on where you are from, to Roblox completely ruining the way games are.
Roblox?
So all Roblox games would be shut down and it would not be any more Roblox.
Worst thing that they could have possibly done. Like, I don't know how they keep getting worse, right? I sound like a broken fucking record, but I don't know how they keep getting worse.
Doctor, please put me on the strongest antidepressant, please. I also need a weed refill. Give me the max THC.
This could quite possibly be the worst day in recent Roblox history, and it might cause a lot of people to quit either by choice or even forcefully.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be placed into Roblox Kids, which is really unfortunate because all non-age checked users...
Alright, cut the sappy intro. So the purpose of this video is to talk about these new scary Roblox updates from the perspective of a small game developer, to demystify and desensationalize this whole scary update boogeyman situation. Later, I will talk about the development of my game if you are interested. First thing I want to say here is that I don't necessarily think that it's over. Yes, if you're making a game for anyone younger than 16, you're pretty much screwed for now. But I have a feeling that things will gradually get better. This new update where you need to have 500 highly engaged 16 plus players to unlock your game for younger audiences is fundamentally flawed and doesn't make any sense. And Roblox themselves has said that they would relax the requirements over the up and coming months. And I know this is coming from Roblox themselves, but I believe that they're telling the truth here for the most part because they are losing a lot of money. This isn't a Bud Light situation where they're going to die on some stupid political hill, because it's been proven that Roblox will make changes if the community is loud enough. So I believe that things will get better at some point, because their whole system right now just doesn't make any sense. It's going to fall apart. So apparently the update came out where they're forcing the checks and stuff of that nature, but I'm currently unchecked on this Roblox account, but I can still play certain games. This could change within the future, but if we look around, I can play the Satanic Church, because that's a wonderful game on Roblox. I can play Batty Playground, because, you know, this is what we need on Roblox, okay? We can also play Survive A, yeah. And we also have Left for Blocks, and I can play it in, what's the maturity on this game? Moderate, and I'm unchecked on this account. I guess these Roblox developers are celebrating sodomy this month, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I guess to prove my point that this might literally be a nothing burger, let's join. Wonderful.
Welcome to Survivor Fanboy!
What the hell is that? What is this retarded running animation? Alright, this is the part where I talk about my game. If you do not care, then goodbye. Alright, I'm not even gonna lie, my circadian rhythm has been off and I feel like shit for whatever reason. And I'm trying to do fancy editing right now, but the best way I can kind of get something done right now is to actually just record some bullshit. So I guess I'll record here with you. Anyways, so some new additions to Brain Test 45 is that since last time, the AI has vastly improved, and I'm currently working on a reconstruction effort for the AI. I'm not necessarily building it from the ground up, I'm more or less reorganizing it and kind of keeping it clean. And the original AI that I had programmed, all of the intelligence was in one script, and it made it so, like, ass to try and use it to test things, because it's not like I could turn one knob off to test things. Now each behavior is like its own, very own knob that can be modified, so that's wonderful.
I added a couple new behaviors, but I have to re-add some other behaviors so that they can, actually work. Like, I have to rebuild the melee fighting for the AI. Not that that's too hard, but for whatever reason, if I remember correctly, I haven't done it in a while. The programming, I haven't done it in a while, but the reconstructing it has been a little bit of a pain. I have also added, so the most prominent of the behaviors was the sound and hearing system for the AI. So if I walk on this block here, it will send a message to all of the nearby AI to make their new goal to walk towards the origin of where the sound came from. There has also been some new additions to the player framework, such as an item pickup system, so you don't have to just walk over it with your fat body. Some inertia to the camera, so it doesn't feel too snappy. I also added crouching and running systems, and also if you press C, you crouch. I plan on having it so that if you're crouching, you don't make sound, and you don't, activate certain sound traps, because there will be sound traps within the game that if you walk on them, it will play a sound for the NPCs to come running. There is a new main menu. Just by the way, this is temporary. This is probably going to be changed. And I also made some beautiful OST created by yours truly. Well, I kind of have a problem calling it OST. I did take a song and heavily modify it to give it the sound that it looks now. If you're curious, the sample of this song is Telephones by Vacations, which is a great song. Another big issue that I've kind of run into is map design. Map design has been kind of all over the place. I've drawn 3 to 4 different drafts of how I want the map, and I have had some success with the second and third draft. It has some good ideas in it, but I'm still not entirely sure how I want to design the map. I'm starting to get an idea. I think I'm gonna have kind of a rectangle, and you kind of start out in the middle, or you start out on one of the sides, and then you walk into the map, and then you start in the middle, and then from the middle you can kind of go any direction, because I want the game to be non-linear. I don't want the game to be you have to do one set structured path, and I want to make the exploration really cool. But I'm planning on having the map be inspired by this city in the Netherlands called Utrecht. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, I think most of the architecture is going to be inspired by that. I don't know if I'll have all the lakes and stuff, but we'll see. But that's mostly it for the game development side of things. I also made some cool animations. I've been practicing animation, and it's really surprising how easy it kind of is. After a week of animating with the normal Roblox animator, I've been able to make some half decent animations. I think that people, if you're getting into animation, especially on Roblox or even Blender, I don't know, I have to try Blender out, but if you're trying animation, make sure you study the 12 principles of animation. Not all of them are necessarily useful for 3D animation, but there is a lot of, it is definitely worth studying. I have been working on this game for quite a while now, since August, almost a year. I think it's going 10 months though, currently. And there's not much, okay? There is not much, at least physically, done within Roblox Studio. I can assure you though that 90% of the vision is completely done, and I really just need time, of which I have now. So things should be really getting on board here, and I hope by the end of summer, and this does sound kind of ambitious, to get either 90 or 100% of the project done. And you may think that's crazy, but as Donald Trump once said, if there's a 6-year project you think you can get done in 6 months, then you can get it done in 6 months. But yeah, I just haven't had enough time really at all, but I have been writing a bunch of ideas down. I think this is another thing I want to talk about within game development. I think it's a very good idea that you write down all of your stuff. It's honestly nice. You don't have to think about it. Like, you can obviously look at it later, and you're not having like anxiety trying to recall all of your thoughts and ideas because they're already written down. And so it just makes for great organization. I think that every single person should write down their ideas and their project things. Anyways, I wanted to rant about a game that I found recently on Roblox called Joyful Playground. And it's a game kind of similar to, you know, Dezelnica or first-person melee fighting games. And if you know me, I like those games. I really do like first-person melee fighting games. It's like my favorite little niche. It's like what I'm autistically obsessed about. But this game has some massive design issues, and I wanted to use it as an example as to when you design a game without like purpose or intent, and this doesn't even have to be with game development in general. If you just don't design things with like purpose and intent, it's obviously going to fall apart. But the problem with this game is that it lacks so much depth. Like, yes, there's a parry mechanic, there's a kick mechanic that bypasses your block, or your parry, and I do think the way that they executed the parry is interesting if it was actually useful. So the problem with this game is that parrying is completely useless, and it only serves to prolong the combat of the game. And there is massive balancing issues within the game, but I'll get to that later. So basically the game consists of you having your weapon, clicking the charge button to charge, and whoever gets enough charged hits on the other player essentially wins. And like, it's so easy for people to run away from you. Like, if you have enough stamina, you can pop a full medkit, which is just absolutely retarded and unbalanced. I don't know how that is actually possible, but they need to fix that where people can't just simply run away from the other person. Parrying is useless. They removed the identity of the parry and what makes parrying like actually useful in the first place. So whenever you parry, it, for the most part, I think, deflects the attack. It doesn't do anything, it just makes it so you don't take damage. But it doesn't stun them. It's not like there's any punishment for not doing a swing. But there is a punishment for parrying, because there's a chance that you might miss your parry and take damage. Okay, I don't want to linger on this game for too much longer, but I guarantee you if you play it, you can very easily spot the issues with like balancing and stuff. I'm not going to shit on the game completely. The items are very cool, and the atmosphere and some of the little story things I think are cool. And this whole idea that you're a prisoner in this like FFA facility building, that's kind of cool, I guess. And same thing with the mentalities, but that's where all my compliments end. My point here is that you have to design your game with intention and purpose. This game really, it just seems like it doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, the parrying, okay, it doesn't stun the other player, but if it should at least result in something happening, whether that be like, it doesn't stun them, but it gives the player like a slight edge of like landing an attack. Like, for example, in Chivalry 2, where when you parry someone, it just makes it so you don't have any stamina loss. But again, it's just the combat doesn't know what it wants to be. It's just too like unintentional with its design, and it sucks. Frankly, it's terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. I know this video's kind of lazy, but I've got things I gotta do. I really gotta get back to game dev. But thank you for watching.